I don't know, I wrote a speech. You might all want to sit down. It might take a while. It's more than a toast. I hope my speech is a debacle like the shuttle bus situation this morning. No offense, Jim. Some of you know me. My name is Vic Mark, and Mark has been a very special friend of mine for over 20 years. He's also godfather to my daughter and was best man at my wedding. He's now given me the honor of being his. And so in keeping with tradition, it is a particular pleasure to be asked to say a few words about Mark and his beautiful bride, Erica.
Get it straight, Vic.
Like I said, I don't want a debacle. In the interest of time, I'm going to try to sum up our lives up in a nutshell. There's just way too much material to work for here. Our friendship began about the age of 10 in Yorktown after my family and I moved there from Canada. We soon became fast friends and spent a great amount of time together, often at each other's houses. In fact, some of my fondest memories are of Gina chasing him around the house, threatening to clobber him with some foreign objects, and his parents yelling at him for doing something weird or wrong. Unfortunately, our time together came to an end prematurely at about the age of 15 because we went back to Canada. In fact, we actually only spent 5 short years together. But man, we managed to pack enough stories, fun, and laughter into those 5 years to keep me up here all night. Because Mark and I attended different high schools, he introduced me to a lot of people I would not have gotten to know, some of whom are here tonight and remain my dear friends. In fact, the friendships we established during those brief 5 years have grown stronger over time because we continue to keep in touch even though we now live many miles apart. We often chat on the phone, email, and occasionally together when the opportunities like this arise. I find it rather amazing that despite the distance and passage of time, we are still able to interact with the ease and comfort of neighborhood friends. Skype. A great deal of the credit for the continued closeness of this circle of friends belongs to Mark. He's done everything possible to keep us together over the years and has sternly let us know when we're not holding up our end of the bargain. We've all traveled great distances to keep our friends strong over the years. Canada, University of Buffalo, NYU, Niagara College, California. Mark has visited me and my family in Canada a couple times, and I had the real pleasure of spending last Thanksgiving at the Guerreros, which I'm still digesting. Thank you. A great deal of credit for keeping our friendship active and long belongs to Mark. His commitment goes beyond something a friend would normally do. It's the gesture of a family member, and that's why I consider you my brother. We've always been there for each other. I know I can always count on you if need be, even though if you're on the other side of the planet. I met Erica about 5 years ago when I picked them up at Toronto Airport. There she was, this very petite, attractive girl who I hesitantly hugged because I was afraid I might break a rib or two. Even though she could hardly speak a word of English, her friendliness was shown through her bright, smiley face. They looked great together and complimented each other very well, even if they couldn't understand each other. After hanging out with her at my house and at the bar, I thought this girl was great. As quiet as she is, she likes to have fun and laugh and party like the rest of us. A few years later, my brother-in-law and I went out to California to visit Mark and Erica. And when she, put up with us loud, drunk, snoring, hairy beast, I knew she was the one for this guy. One of my fondest memories. Sorry. Mildly buzzed. One of my fondest memories, though, is that when Mark decided to continue Erica's driving lessons through the streets of Los Angeles during rush hour with all of us in the car. Let me just say the rosary I had with me turned to dust. And to this day, I believe it was a miracle that we made it to our destination. Erica, I can only tell you from my experiences that you find yourself a very caring, giving, and unselfish man who puts others' feelings before his own. And I can tell that you share the same qualities. I still laugh 20 years later because a memory will just suddenly float in my head about the times we've had, and I can only hope you guys have that same kind of energy. 20 years later, I can still hear that laugh. I think it's a petito laugh, no offense to anybody. But on a quiet night in Yorktown, it's been noted that Mrs. Guerrero and Mark's laugh could be heard as far as Connecticut. You found a man that comes from the best family I ever met, with solid family values, strong morals, strong beliefs, and a love barrier that nothing in this entire world could break. You guys have come a long way. You've done many things together that many of us could only dream of. You met on Japanese soil. You've traveled the world together. You've resided in the U.S. and Japan. You've managed the trials of a long-distance relationship at times, and always went back to each other. You've tackled whatever life has thrown your way. Hopefully the rest comes a little easier for you two. You certainly deserve it. You brought Lucio into this world, and you've proven to all of us that love is an international language. And I just want to say God bless, and many years. Chindan.
Nice round of applause for Vic. Please, a nice round of applause for Mark Korsak, who is not going to take the microphone, but tells me he's responsible for at least 50% of that speech, so he wants writing credits. Everybody sit down, relax, have a good time.